objective of the study was to examine how coaches perceived the stress-related growth, from here on out also known as SRG, in their athletes who had suffered injuries that required them to spend time away from their sport. The study involved 8 coaches from different levels of competition, ranging from a club level all the way up to an international level. The injuries being studied included strains and sprains, as well as fractures and dislocations. Coaches ultimately determined that injury was a negative event with debilitating consequences, while also suggesting it could provide a platform for SRG.
There are 7 subcategories: beliefs, values, attitude, knowledge, priorities, outlook, and greater qualities. Beliefs: athletes found that hard work pays off and that injuries can be overcome. They also developed a belief in the importance of rehabilitation exercises and were able to reach outside of their comfort zone, giving them a greater sense of achievement afterwards. With values, the athletes began to rank mobility higher as an aspect of their health, where before it was considerably less important to them. Their injuries caused players to be more open about thoughts and feelings, as well as promoting a live-in-the-moment attitude. Speaking of attitude, athletes who recovered from injury were more positive towards their sport. It increased their desire to play and fueled a drive to learn and improve. As a side effect, players became more mentally tough and were able to cope with larger amounts of stress. Post-injury, a player's knowledge increased in areas such as the body, injury prevention, nutrition, rehabilitative exercises, and risk factors associated with certain injuries. Players' priorities changed, and an increased desire to learn and improve overshadowed a just playing mentality. Players' outlook also improved, with noticeable levels of greater enjoyment, balance of life in sport, and a renewed sense of purpose. Overall, players showed greater maturity returning from injury and were experiencing stages of increased self-analysis, with an increased passion for their sport, better reactions to adversity, and a realization that they were not invincible, and it gave players a more humbled self-image.
Psychologically, injured athletes experienced growth in 2 categories. Primarily, the sporting qualities of the athlete increased. This essentially means that the athlete increased their general motivation towards the sport, their role on the team, and improving their skills. Likewise, their focus increased, and their confidence in their own capabilities grew through non-contact drills, which allowed them to perfect their skills, and time off, which allowed them to work on skills they otherwise would not practice. Athletes also showed growth in their cognitive coping abilities, meaning they are better able to cope with challenging situations, and are better able to regulate their emotions upon their return to their respective sport. Socially, athletes grew in 1 category, which was social support. Athletes developed strong relationships with their doctors and physiotherapists, and especially with other injured athletes, who they were able to relate to and who they were able to push and be pushed by in their rehab. Further to that, athletes also strengthened their existing ties within their teams. Being unable to participate in the sporting aspects, they were able to focus more on the social aspect, which led to stronger friendships with their teammates and with their coaches, who they were able to spend more time with during the physical aspects of team activities.
Physical growth. Players experienced greater improvements in strength and fitness, as well as becoming more mentally tough. They were also able to perform longer and showed better conditioning. Noticeable behavioral indicators. Overall, the athletes recovering from injury seemed more relaxed, devoted more time to their health and well-being, showed greater support of their teammates, improved their tactical ability through observation, were able to cope better in the face of adversity, and experienced noticeable improvements in their social interactions with others.